Hi, it's Anne here, and today's video is going to be a get ready with me and a chit chat, and I really primarily wanted to film this to play with all the new makeup that I bought when I was away, a couple of like Project Pan stuff in here as well, and I wanted to talk a little bit about my trips, more specifically I guess Vegas over Scotland, because I still think I'll be doing a vlog or two for Scotland. I did film stuff. I haven't looked at any of that footage properly yet. I haven't even really looked at any photos. So let's get started. I'll zoom you in a little and yeah, we're just gonna play with some makeup and have a chit chat about life. So how y'all doing? May was a crazy month for me. I went on 2 separate trips, which I don't think I'll ever do that again. It was a little much. I'm just going in with my Artlist Glow Base as a primer. Spent the first half of the month in Scotland with my dad. It was just over 2 weeks, and the reason why it's got to be just over 2 weeks is because of travel days. We flew with Air Transat. Highly recommend Air Transat. The only thing that was interesting on the flight there, I think the seats we had needed some extra padding because both me and my dad are like, my butt hurts. But I didn't have that experience on the flight home. But yeah, I would say our flights were really good. Air Transat still has like in-flight entertainment. We got food. So I had a little bit of coffee, although it's super hot because I just made it. Just overall easy, good flights. And from what I can tell, Air Transat's the only, at least affordable company that does a direct flight to Scotland. There's like no more direct flights to Scotland, which is a sign of the times, I guess. So I'm going in with the number 7 Stay Perfect foundation with SPF 30. This is in, I want to say cool vanilla. Yes. So this I bought in Scotland. I'm not going to use the other foundation. So you can see like this is like an excellent match for me. The shade is great for me. The other one I bought was a number 7 foundation in Vegas, but it was the like Perfect and Protect or something. It's the SPF 50 one, but it's a little dark for me right now. So this is like my natural skin tone right now. Anyway, so yeah, Scotland was good. The things, like we saw so many things and like, it's funny. So one of the things I want to mention is when we landed at the airport, it's like you get off the plane and I'm like, that smell, that airport, I don't want to say it stinks, but it's got like this sort of almost musty smell that you're like, yep, I landed in Scotland. Like you totally know this, I don't know, the smell of Scotland. It has a distinct smell that's like home away from home for me. So yeah, like overall everything on our trip went so smoothly, which I like, knock on wood, that was just like, I hope all my trips go that smoothly from here on out, because although Vegas went super smoothly as well, like I had no issues. A couple of my friends, they had some issues on their flights and some other issues, but like I had no problems. So yeah, everything went really well. One of the highlights of my trip was seeing, I sort of call her my aunt. She's like an aunt to me. I know her. I spent more time with her than I have with some of my relatives here in Canada. So for me, seeing her, I don't know, it's somewhat emotional. Because she's kind of like my aunt here. She's like the last one of her generation in the family in Scotland. So it's like, and you know, if I was a betting person, none of us would have guessed, like, why her? We don't know, like, why? But yeah, like seeing, like, again, I called them my cousins, was so nice. The one cousin I haven't seen since he was like 8 or 6, like he was little the last time I ever saw him. And he's like a full grown, he's a flight attendant now, he's a full grown person. And it's like, you're awesome. My family there is awesome. Love you guys. So yeah, it was really exciting to see them. For me, that was like a main highlight for me, which, I mean, that was at the very beginning. That was the first couple days. But yeah, our trip went really well. I don't recommend driving there. I never want to drive there again. It was stressful, to say the least. I'm just going to keep going with my face. I'm going to go with this guy. This was from Kiko Milano. It's the Little Mermaid. I don't know the actual name of the product. What does it say here? Contour and Highlight Duo Stick in 01. It's more of a bronzer than a contour, I would say. It's got a little bit more warmth than, yeah, like you can see, than a contour. But we're going with it anyway. Do the big forehead. I'm just like, it's a rainbow. A rainbow of brown. But yeah, so everything went really well. Like, no complaints. I'm not sure I'll go back to Scotland like anytime soon, maybe ever again, because I've been a lot. I realized that was my 10th time being there. And the world's a big place, and there's other things I want to see. But yeah, very, very pleased with how well everything went. Everywhere we stayed was great. We were so freaking lucky with the weather, which Dad, hi Dad, by the way, you got lucky because you were not adequately prepared for the rain, but we really didn't have any, and I was just like, what is going on? Although, the one thing that I've kind of learned since being there is sort of northern Scotland doesn't get quite the same intensity of rain, it sounds like, or like, at least at that time of year, so we kind of lucked out. I would definitely suggest if you're gonna go, go late April to early May, or late August to early September, because you're just on like the shoulder season of like the busy time, but you're still gonna get the good weather. Outside of that, like, especially if you go northern Scotland, things aren't even open in like March and stuff. So, and yeah, just everything there is just beautiful. Like, you kind of don't even, like I said, I've been so many times and it rains so much, and when it rains a lot, you don't normally get to see that, but like I felt like we really got to see the countryside. And the Isle of Skye, like, so we did partially the Old Man of Store and walked up, and I feel like I could see for miles and miles and miles. Like, it was just stunning to be up there and see that. So really, really enjoyed that. But yeah, driving is horrifying over there. Anybody that drives over there that has their license in like Scotland or England, you are like NASCAR racers to me, because not for speed, but for like agility. When I got back here and I got in my car to drive, I was like, the road is so big. There's so much room for activities. Although it made me aware of how much people waver on the roads here. Like, we have so much room to waver. You have no margin for error over there. Okay, let's focus on the eyes for a little bit. I'm gonna go in with, I have my little Project Pan palette here, my little shade right here. I repressed 2 of the shades. I'm gonna go in with this shade as like a crease shade. But that's all I'm gonna talk about with Scotland for now, because I do want to do some sort of vlog. How that will work, I don't know, and I'll probably repeat some of the stuff I've said here already. The only thing I will say is I never saw a Highland coo, and I'm so sad. I never, like, where are they? Where are the Highland cows? Sheep's galore. Sheep everywhere. But no Highland cows. Where are they? Do you have any? They're not extinct, are they? Please don't tell me that. Or are they on like the endangered list? I hope not. But yeah, that's all I'll talk about that for now. Then I was home for like just over a week. and then I flew to Las Vegas, total last minute. Thank you, boss, for letting me take those days. I sort of negotiated. I was supposed to take another day off for the Scotland trip for like the flight day. I ended up working that day and then, kind of rushing my flight so I could take an extra day for Vegas. And then I picked a really late flight on the Friday. So I worked all day on the Friday and then went to the airport and flew to Vegas and then went to a club show, like a concert the Friday night. Like, it was just a whirlwind of a trip. But again, everything, like, when I got to the airport, there was like no one in line for airport security. It was a breeze to get through, at least from Canada to the US. Getting from the airport to the hotel, no problem. I took a taxi. It was like, with everything included, it was like $60 US or close to that. I was going to do Uber or Lyft, but they were surging as well. I probably would have been slightly cheaper had I done one of those, but it's a little further to walk to the rideshare part, and I was like right by the taxi part, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna get a taxi, but no problems. And yeah, like I had no issues. The room I stayed at the Downtown Grand. The room I had was massive. So it's funny that me, my friends, and my brother, we were all in separate towers. Like, there's 3 different towers, and we ended up being in all 3 different towers, so we all had entirely different rooms. Although my brothers and my brother and my friends had similar style room, like they were definitely more modern, like updated rooms. I was definitely in the old tower, the casino tower, but I liked my room. Like I said, it was massive. It was like a corner room, and I thought I was gonna get shafted because I didn't like check in until like after 11 o'clock. Yeah, I basically checked in and then went straight to the, although I didn't have a ticket, so I had to wait for a while, and then eventually I got a ticket. So thanks to the dude that was giving away a ticket that I bought a drink for. You made my night, even though we saw the real Mackenzies that night, and the real Mackenzies need to really rethink doing shows. I think it's time to call it. So I'm putting on my eyes. The only eyeshadow that I'm going to use today, other than that shadow, is this Kiko Milano, right here, Kiko Milano long-lasting eyeshadow stick. So I did talk about this. You probably already have seen my buys and buys. I was like, it's not really long-lasting. It's sort of long-lasting. Let's just say if we could rank like nude sticks versus Laura Mercier, this is in the middle. It does last a little. It lasts longer than it definitely lasts longer than the nude sticks ones, but it's not nearly as long-lasting as the Laura Mercier one. But I did notice that, like, because I did swatches on my hand, and then I was like, okay, yeah, it does kind of last a little bit. Just not as much as I had hoped it would. This is in the shade, 60, I think is the shade. It's either 09 or 60. I think it's 60. I mean, I like the product itself. I just wish it really was a bit more long-lasting, as the name implies. So yeah, I was there in particular for Punk Rock Bowling. If you don't know, Punk Rock Bowling is a punk festival that's been going on for, this was the year 23, I think, or 22, 23 or 22. So it's been going on for a long time. They did miss a couple of years because of COVID. And I've always wanted to go. My brother has gone like this, I think it was like his 9th time or something. And I wanted to go. It's never been good timing. It's always like I usually plan other trips in May, or there's something else going on. And one of the reasons why, well, my friend twisted my rubber arm. Like I said, I've always wanted to go. And it was sort of like a realization that, like, right now I don't have any pets. There was really nothing holding me to, like, not do it, other than I was taking a month or 2 weeks off prior to that. But I was like, if my boss is okay with it and things weren't too busy at work that I could make it work, I could make it work. So I'm going in with the eyeliner. This was the Primark Kohl eyeliner in metallic. It's like a sort of penny copper color. I'm going to try and not, like, so you just see my forehead. Let's try and move the mirror a little here. So that's what I was there for. My brother kind of said it was a lot different this year, and a lot of people were complaining. It's definitely gotten a lot bigger, and definitely feels like, and it was expensive. Like, I've always heard that downtown was, like, cheaper. So the gambling tables are cheaper. If you like things like the blackjack tables and stuff, like they have 3-2 blackjack, that means something to some people. It doesn't really mean a whole lot to me, but apparently it's better odds. And like they're $1 blackjack tables, which I don't think are at the big casinos. There's also like more old school machines and penny machines and things like that at the casinos. But just everything. Like I got a coffee and a muffin at Dunkin' Donuts, and it was $10 Canadian. Like, what the hell is that? Like, why is that so expensive? Just ridiculously expensive. Everything was so pricey. And like, so staying at the downtown Grand, the one thing I was annoyed at, so they do a thing, they have pool parties, and then they have like the festival, and then there's club shows. So like, it's just like constant music. Like, it's just constant. You actually can't see everything because they sort of overlap a little bit in some places. Like the pool party and the festival don't overlap, but basically to get from the pool party to the festival, you have to go like right away. And then the end of the festival sort of overlaps usually with the starting of a club show. Like, again, you're not gonna make it. My brother actually left early for the one. He left Bad Religion early. He left somebody early. Maybe it was even Rancid. He left early to go see a club show. So you can't see everything all at once. But yeah, it was just way more expensive. Like, so what I was saying was that the pool party, I bought a drink at the pool, and it was like $18 US for like a gin and tonic, like a basic mixed drink. But if I bought that same drink at the bar downstairs, it was $9, which is still expensive. But like, it was just, I don't know, it was kind of way too much money for, I think for all of us. We were all just kind of shocked at how pricey. Like, I was expecting those kind of prices at Disney. Like, I spent, I think, $22 on a drink, or was it $27 Canadian on one drink in Disney? And I was like, okay, it's Disney, whatever. But I was not expecting that in like the Fremont Street area in Vegas. But yeah, so like when I flew into Vegas and I got off the plane and I'm just walking down Fremont Street, like at, 11:15 at night, it's a mind trip. Like, there's just so much going on. And I don't know, I've been a lot of places in this world. Like, I've been very lucky. I've been able to travel a lot, and I've seen nothing like Vegas. And then we did go to the Strip the very last day. We had a bit of time between checking out and our flight, and I kind of pushed I wanted to go down to the Strip. I'm not sure everybody really wanted to do that, but I was like, you don't have to go. I'm going to go, but you don't have to go, because I just wanted to see it. And I mean, yeah, like even in the daytime, it's like, this place is freaking overwhelming. I'd love to go back just to see it at night. Like, I'm not a Vegas person. I don't really like gambling. I don't really get Vegas. That makes sense. But I'm just sort of like stunned by it all. Like, it's just such a bizarre thing in our world that exists. But yeah, we had a really, really good trip. Like I said, my hotel room worked out, my flights worked out. I was on the same flight as my brother going home, which was interesting. And then our friends were on not the same flight, but it was like a 10-minute difference. Well, ours got delayed an hour, but it was so bizarre. I'm like, why are there 2 flights going back to Toronto at almost exactly the same time? Although they flew on Flair, and they said, don't fly on Flair, which apparently Flair is gonna close anyway, so she's like, it was apparent that they are gonna close. So yeah, this eyeliner, like, on its own is not a whole lot of zhuzh for me, but I feel like it's going to be a really good summer eyeliner. Again, it's going to fill that niche that I wanted the ColourPop Get Paid to fill. But I am going to go in with this Marc Jacobs fine liner to tightline just up in my upper lash line here. So yeah, it was my first time going. I had so much fun. The only downer for me was my stomach. So I did have some issues with my stomach in Scotland, which I kind of expected. But I think what I ate there kind of wrecked my stomach. So I have GERD. You didn't know. Talked about it a few times here and there. And I've always kind of had some stomach issues here and there. But it's been pretty bad the last, I guess, almost 2 years now. A year and a half, somewhere in that range. And I think eating all like sort of the heavier, greasier food in Scotland, not getting enough vegetables, kind of really did a number on my stomach. And then I didn't have enough time to sort of recalibrate. And I was kind of stressed out. Like, I didn't get good sleep and all that kind of stuff before I went to Vegas. So I never had a time for my stomach to just like calm down. So then by the time I got to Vegas, my stomach was just like, even before I went, like the day, I remember it was like the Thursday, I was trying to figure out something to eat for Thursday, Friday, because I didn't want to buy groceries, but I wanted to buy just enough to like, and I was like, what can I eat that's not going to like mess up my stomach? And it's like, I don't know what to eat. Like, it was kind of hard to figure out. Like, I ended up buying like some fruit and some bread and just some really basic things that I knew wouldn't upset my stomach, like no cheese, no eggs. Was trying to really kind of keep it. I ate rice and potatoes. But yeah, that was the other thing that was kind of a damper for me, was my stomach just really acted up when I was there. Which, I mean, it has been doing that. It's been doing that on and off, like I said, for the last year and a half, 2 years. But it's been manageable because I've been home. Like, I've been 30 steps from a toilet. Although it's usually not down the way. It's usually just up the way, but sometimes down the way. I guess I've kind of like not really thought about that until being away from home. I was like, yeah, okay, I am having more problems than I care to admit. So I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go back on like antacid pills, which I didn't want to do, but I'm going to have to do that. And once I do that, maybe I'll go see the doctor, and I don't know. Things are a little bit better now, but I'm still like, I've been back for about 4 or 5 days now, and it's still not, I'm not back to normal. But again, like, I'm not back to normal partially because like I'm exhausted too. I finally, 2 nights ago, I slept for like 12 hours, like totally conked out. I think I woke up like after like 8 hours. I'm like, or maybe it's like 9 hours. I'm just gonna lay here because I'm really tired. And back out again. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then even this morning, like I feel like I got up this morning to go get some groceries. I'm gonna go. The only thing on my agenda today is to do some cleaning, and I'm gonna go to Bath and Body Works because it's a semi-annual sale. And like I woke up and I'm like, I can't really sleep. Like I'm not tired enough, but I woke up and I got ready and I went outside. And I feel like dizzy. Like I feel all out of sorts, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So I'm hoping just having some calm. Like I didn't go anywhere this weekend. I'm having some, just like trying to normalize again. Bring me back to earth. I'm not planning any trips anytime soon. I did want to try and do a camping trip, but I haven't even looked to see if there's anything available. Maybe in September. But other than that, I'm not really planning on any trips. Because that was a lot. I mean, it was fun. I had a great time. So I'm just putting on my L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. This is in like Blackest Black. Whatever the Blackest Black version is, that's always the one I buy. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. And it was funny because we were talking. We're like, well, maybe it's an every other year kind of trip. And then, so if you know anything about punk music, NoFX is on their last. They say their last. Every band does this, but they say it's their last year. And I think they said it's like October 2024 is going to be their last show. I think, if I have that correct. So everyone's kind of betting that they might play next year. Although if they do that, like it's going to be a bitch to get tickets. Tickets are going to sell out. So it's like, well, maybe we'll go next year. And like that's kind of our only thing. It's like if NoFX plays next year, then we'll go. If not, I won't go for a couple of years. But I definitely want to go again. The bug has bit me, and I want to go again. And I got to meet some, like, new people, and just, yeah, like, for me, it was a very new experience, a different experience. And it was nice. It was different. It was just very different from Scotland. It was a very different kind of a trip. Although, I mean, there's some things that I wanted to do there. Like, there's the Mob Museum, the Punk Rock Museum, the Art District. My friends of mine did that. Like, they all did different things. I did none of that. I think Scotland kind of sightseeing me out. Like, too much sightseeing in Scotland that I was like, I can't do that here. Like, I just want to relax. I just want to go watch the music and relax. And that's what I did. Like, that's literally all I did. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do my eyebrows and come back because nobody wants to see that. And just when I come back, just accept that's how they've been done. Because they're never great. Okay, eyebrows are on. I just used my Project Pan stuff, which is the NYX Stick It in taupe, and then this McQueen My Strong Auto Eyebrow Pencil in Natural Brown. And I'm going to just sort of lightly set my face. I feel like this foundation feels really nice. Like, I feel like I don't really have to set it, but it's still a little warm out. We had, like, so Vegas was freaking hot as balls. Like, it was so hot. Like, disgustingly hot. It was like 37 degrees. And, like I said, my brother's been a number of times, and he said that's the hottest he can ever remember it being. Like, it was disgustingly hot. And then we get back here, and there's a heat wave happening here. Like, I was like, oh, I really was kind of looking forward to some more normal temperatures, but it finally broke. We had, like, some weird, crazy rain, and then it broke. So it's a little bit more normal, but it's still warm. Like, I feel like it's still, like, this morning, the temperature is not as hot, but the air just feels, I guess it's the humidity, just feels a little warm. Okay, I have two different blushes that I want to play with, and we're going to do, there it is. I was like, it's not here. It's here. We've got the more expensive Kiko Milano one. This is the Velvet Touch Cream Stick Blush in the shade 08. And then I've got this little guy from Primark. So we're going to put one on each cheek just to see it. And then we're going to swap just to, like, balance everything out. I've tried this one on my cheek. The only product I haven't tried is this, I think, on my face. So yeah, I kind of liked the classicness of this guy. It just reminded me of, like, just a very classic cream blush. I've been trying to remember to do the more modern version of putting blush a little higher up here instead of down here, but as you can tell, I keep forgetting. But I keep trying. I keep thinking about it. I'm just going to blend it a little bit with my brush. This is, like, my favorite brush for cream products. I have two of them. It's the e.l.f. what do they call it? Small stipple brush, I think is what it's called. Favorite brush for cream products. I feel like it just works really, really well for blending out cream products. Yeah, it's a really nice blush. It's maybe a little intense. Kind of went a little too much at the front here. Let's blend that a little. There we go. Yeah, really like nice natural looking color. It was the most like the other colors were either too pinky or too corally, and that one was more neutral. It's still kind of pinky, but more neutral. This one though, the way it looks in the pan and the way I thought it was going to look on my face, or at least when I swatch it, is not the same at all. And I hate this packaging. It's really hard to open. But I bought it because it looks like an hourglass blush with that like thing, but it's very, very metallic. So there's a swatch of it on my hand. It's very, very metallic. So let's just go in with this. Just using a BH Cosmetics brush. I love this brush. I mean, like you can see, it's a hot mess. This thing fell off and I glued it, but I glued it crooked. But one of my favorite brushes, this whole brush set, it was called the Rose Gold Collection, I think. It's like my favorite brush set. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very summery blush for me because it's got like a bit of a bronziness to it. And like that shimmer. Like I like that it's got that sheen, and I don't need to put highlight on. I can just use this. They're actually very similar in tone, but not really. I think that, so with a lot of blushes, I still have not done my blush comparison thing, but I feel like a lot of blushes, once I put them on my face, oh no, they are similar in tone. Okay. Look at me buying the same kind of thing. Yeah, they're totally similar in tone. Whoops. But they don't look like that. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? If you had bought these, would you think they would have looked the same on? I would have not thought that. Like, this has like that mauve color I thought would have made this more cooler looking, but I guess that like bronzy gold color in there just really makes that look a lot different. Okay, let's just add a little bit of this on this side. Blend that in a little. Try and even ourselves out here a little. I'm like over blushed now, as usual. It's fine. Blush for me always wears off, so I don't mind like over blushing first thing in the day. Because after like an hour, it's already like worn down. There we go. That's good. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, lips. So the last thing is lips, and I have 2 lip products, but I need to kind of like try one and then try the other. So this one is the Luster lipstick. This was the Primark one that cost like $1.50. Really like this shade. It looks really well with those blushes as well. That's the shade on the bottom. I was like, it was not intentional to buy like a bunch of things. Let me just even like, let's just swatch all the things together, except for we won't do the bronzer contour. But like everything I ended up buying was all like super coordinating. Like this is all the stuff that I bought other than the bronzer highlight, but bronzer highlight's like just normal. Like how like color coordinating is everything. That was so not intentional and it just happened. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on. I'll have to stop talking. But yeah, it's a very light, creamy lipstick. Sometimes it looks a little like right now it's looking a little more peachy. Sometimes it looks a little more pink. It's a very weird, it was in the shade Sweet Talk. Their shades were very interesting. Like they had a tinted lip thing. And I was like, ooh, tinted lip thing. They were all the same color. Same with the lipsticks. All the lipsticks were sort of this like brownie beige shade. This one was like the most pinky one. But yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be a really good summer shade. It's really nice and easy and quick to put on. I don't have to think too hard about it. It's one I can like throw in my purse and just toss on. So that's that. And you can kind of see like my natural lip color is not very dark. I have like super pale lips. It drives me crazy. So not drives me crazy, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like they're like non-existent at the time. They're actually even a little bit dark now because I just rubbed them to take that lipstick off. But I'm going to put this on. This is the Kiko Milano, what was it called? Long Lasting Color Lip Marker in the shade 109. So we'll just try not talk and put this on. So hopefully you can see that's like I talked about, it's like as if I just took a drink of water, and that's like, my lips have some color to them now. It's like, yay, and I can just throw on like a lip gloss, and away we go. I'm just gonna throw on the lipstick. I'll just put something else on, but yeah, like, it's just like a My Lips But Better. I just love that, and it's like a lip marker, so it's like a lip tint, so it's long lasting. It doesn't wash off, but it does wear off, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm just gonna spray my face with my not ABH2 resetting mist, my e.l.f. And let me just fix my hair, and then we'll wrap up this video. Okay, so that's it. That's the final look. I feel very summery, very warm. It was very unintentional that everything was like color coordinating, but it kind of worked out. So I'm really happy about that. I'm happy about all the products that I bought. I don't think there's anything. Oh, we didn't put any highlight on. Let's put a little bit of highlight on. Kind of forgot with that blush, having a bit of highlight in that blush. Let's just throw on a bit of highlight on the top of our cheeks, blend that out. I like this, like I said, I like this highlight contour stick. I wasn't too sure about that contour color because it's not really a contour, but it works out quite well. I think it's a really nice color. Sorry, I don't mean to be giving you the finger there, guys. So, oh, one more thing that I did want to talk about was I finally did apply, I just did it, to be a foster. So I am on the foster list already for Toronto Humane Society, but I'll be honest, like 99% of their fosters I can't foster. It's almost always large dogs that need like a backyard or something, and I just don't have that. Very rarely do they have like a small dog, because those ones just get like adopted out very quickly through Toronto Humane Society. So I did apply through 2 different places. One was the place that I got Harley from, and one is another place that focuses exclusively on senior dogs. So we might have a foster soon. If I do have a foster and I, can share, I will share. There are some fosters through Toronto Humane Society. I forget the name of the program, but there's sort of like a sort of safety program. Like, just say you're becoming homeless or you're living in an abusive situation, you need to move out. Toronto Humane Society will help rehome your dogs temporarily or your cats temporarily. But if you do that, you can't tell anyone. Like, it's obviously a privacy thing. It's unlikely that, again, I will foster through Humane Society, but I'm assuming, again, I'll have to talk to the foster places once I do get a foster. Is it okay for me to share on social media that, so-and-so is my foster? But I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I am really missing Harley at times, but I've also and this is like the reality of having a pet, is they're a lot of work, and I've kind of adjusted again. Like, after Harley left, it's like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, I was 100%, especially because near the end he was sick, so I was 100% into him, and you just don't know what to do with yourself. Now there's been some time, it's like that 12 hours of sleep that I had. You can't do that when you have a dog, because you have to take them out. So I've kind of gotten a little bit used to my new patterns again of not taking a dog out regularly, not worrying about a dog. But I think for me, having the dog outweighs that. That makes sense. Having the pet in my life outweighs some of the things, like taking them out in -20 weather. Or like the past few days where it was like 30-something degrees here and it was hot. Taking them out in that kind of a weather. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see in the next few weeks. I might have a foster. So anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, feel free to give it a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.